Just like some luxury cream or an expensive perfume, waking up at 5 am has become the new thing which is being sold online. You don't believe me? Just search the word 5 am and you'll be presented with countless videos on YouTube. But here's the thing, none of these videos is asking the primary question. Should you wake up at 5 am? Do you even need to wake up at 5 am? All of these videos tend to assume wake up at 5 am and you'll be successful. But I feel success should be about optimizing your entire life, decades, years, months, even days, not about just 1 hour, 5 am to 6 am. And in this video, I'm going to challenge or counter the myths, the realities, and situations where waking up at 5 am is actually making your life worse, and specific situations where it makes sense to wake up at 5 am. Hola friends, welcome back to your home of ideas. If you're new here, my name is Mayank. I'm a PhD researcher working on nano devices. Let's dive in. The first thing that we are being told about waking up at 5 am is the productivity. The moment you wake up at 5 am, your productivity will skyrocket. You'll become more efficient than Elon Musk or Steve Jobs or I don't know, any other guy. But let's take a step back. In science, whenever you are about to measure a change in something, you should know the baseline first, right? So let's do a thought experiment to measure your baseline, and then we'll see if waking up at 5 am improves your productivity. Let's say you wake up at 8 am, right? And then you sleep at maybe, I don't know, midnight, 12 or whatever, whenever you sleep. That's not the point. The point is, during those waking hours, let's say you calculate amount of productive hours that you have produced. Let's say you produce 10 productive hours in a day. Fair enough. Now you start waking up at 5 am. So you're getting 3 more hours every day. Now your productivity ideally should be what? If 5 am is so efficient, then you should produce, let's say, 2.5 hours out of those 3 hours as productive hours. So you end up with 12.5 productive hours in a day. When you go to sleep, when you open your notebook or your app, wherever you write your productive hours, you should write 12.5. But what happens now? It won't be the same, because the moment you wake up at 5 am, now your energies will drain out by the day, by the time you come to your day, and the 10 productive hours that you were able to produce before, maybe they reduce to 8, 7, 6, 5, who knows? I did this experiment and I was struggling throughout my day. My average productivity is around 10 productive hours. So I stay awake for about 16 hours in a day, and out of that I produce 10, on a good day, maybe 11 productive hours. Okay. But when I did this experiment, my productive hours in total throughout the day was nowhere close to 11. They were like 7, 8, 6.5 on some days, which is not at all efficient than what I was doing before. So the question comes in, if you wake up early, you should have more productive hours. But if your productive hours are not increasing, then what's the point? Okay, you can send a selfie or you can post an Instagram post that you woke up at 5 am, but then what happens throughout the day, right? You should try to optimize the whole day, not just an hour from 5 to 6 am. This is the main point that you should understand. And if you can do that, okay, if you're somebody who has 10 productive hours and you wake up 3 hours before your regular time, and you end up producing 10 plus 2.5 or 10 plus 3 or 10 plus 2 more productive hours. So your productivity goes to 12, 12.5, 13. Okay, then it makes sense. You are an ideal person to wake up at 5 am. But rest? I don't think so there's a need of doing that. The second thing that we are being told about waking up at 5 am is focus. You have this absolute focus like a monk when you wake up in the morning. Is it morning or is it the high value use of your time? Think about it. The fact that you're putting in an extra effort to wake up 2 or 3 hours before your average time at which you wake up. So you're assigning a very high value to those hours. Now that a very high value is associated to those hours, you want to make most out of those hours. But hour number 1 from 5 am to 6 am is no different than hour number 1 from 12 in the afternoon to 1 in the afternoon, right? It's just an arbitrary number that you have associated with that hour, so you want to make most out of it. It's like you go to a same restaurant. I send 2 people to the same restaurant, but the price that they are paying for the food is 5 times more in one case. I can bet people on the other scenario where they're paying 5 times more price, they'll think that, Oh, the food was delicious, the experience was amazing, it's extraordinary. It's a placebo effect. It's not real, it's placebo. If you associate a very high value to your time, you want to be focused in that time, you don't want to waste it. Let's say you got 1 hour to talk to, I don't know, let's say Steve Jobs or Albert Einstein. Let's say you get 1 hour to talk to him. You will cherish that 1 hour forever your life. You'll be so focused in that 1 hour, right? Or to your favorite celebrity. So no 1 hour is different than any other hour in your life. It's the value that you associate to it. So if you can associate a very high value to your time throughout the day, you will be focused throughout the day. Just ask yourself, tell yourself, from 1 in the afternoon to 2 in the afternoon is my golden period. I want to be as focused as I can. This is my optimum time. And see the results. Then there is the third point, which we are being told all the time, is health. Your health improves. Before we move forward, I want to read a few lines from the book, Why We Sleep. Scientists have discovered a revolutionary new treatment that makes you live longer. It enhances your memory and makes you more creative. It makes you look more attractive. It keeps you slim and lowers your food craving. It protects you from cancer and dementia. It protects you from cold and flu. It lowers the risk of heart attack and stroke, not to mention diabetes. You'll even feel happier, less depressed, less anxious. Are you interested? Of course, you got the point. The author is talking about sleep. A good quality sleep of 8 hours or more can give you all of these benefits. It's like sleep is the superpower that humans have, or almost all the organisms who sleep have this superpower. If sleep was such a useless thing, then why evolution did not get rid of it, right? You see in all the organisms, right? Our tail is gone now, we don't have tail, right? Our body hair has started to decrease because now we don't need it for protection. We have our clothing, right? We see it in all the animals, right? As they go through evolution, their body changes, the bones change, the structure changes. Our hands are very different from our feet now, right? At some point they were very similar. So if sleep was such a useless thing, why evolution did not get rid of it? Actually, it is not useless. It is this magic drug that we all have. So, and there's another point about health I will talk to you. There's another thing that he talks about. So this is an experiment that I want to share. So this experiment was done with teenagers, specifically teenagers. So we all remember that during our teenage years, we all had these complaints from our parents that when we were in 6th grade, 7th grade, 8th grade, during that time, oh, why don't you wake up early? Why do you sleep so late? Why do you stay awake in the night? You should sleep early, you should wake up early, all those things. Actually, it's not because the kids are lazy. It's because during teenage years, your sleep cycle anyway shifts forward. So you're anyway not able to sleep early and hence you wake up late. And the second thing is that they did an experiment. So the school timing for some kids in a city, they did this experiment where they changed the school timing from 7:25 a.m. to 8:30. So they added extra 55 odd minutes, right? Yeah. So because of that, they found that the SAT, I would say it's similar to an IQ score, I would say. It's like maths and reasoning. Improved by 212 points. Can you imagine that? So the kids who were going to a school where the timings were late, they were getting an extra 1 hour of sleep, right? And this added more to their mental abilities. And this idea came from the fact that initially they were looking at the data into the kids, and they found that kids who are living close to the school are on an average performing better than the kids who are living away from the school. You can get the logic, because the kids who are living away from the school have to wake up early to catch the school bus and to go to the school. I would say I was lucky. I grew up in a very small town anyway. So even if I would have been far, I would not have been very far. And I was very close to my school, hardly a kilometer or so. So I was lucky. I would say I got enough sleep. So here you should focus that even if you want to do this experiment of waking up at 5 a.m., it should not come at the cost of you not sleeping properly. Because when you don't sleep properly, I think if you get less than 4 hours of sleep, your chances of having an accident if you're driving are 11.5 times more than an average person who had a sleep of more than 8 hours. The plane crashes. In most of the cases, it was found that the pilot did not had enough sleep before that. Lack of sleep decreases our cognition, our ability to make decisions. We are more prone to getting sick. Now let's talk about the situations where waking up at 5 a.m. makes sense. The first situation where I can see waking up at 5 a.m. could make sense is when you want to introduce a new habit to your life and you have tried everything to sneak in this extra 1 hour in your day and you cannot. So you want to introduce this extra 1 hour in the morning, right? So you wake up early. It could be you trying to lose weight or get more muscle or be more fit. So exercise, you want to introduce exercise, or maybe you want to learn a new hobby. It could be poetry, dancing, whatever it could be, and you don't have time in the day. So you wake up early. In that case, it makes sense. But before doing that, please try to optimize your day and see if you can sneak in this extra 1 hour in your current waking hours. If you cannot, please go ahead and wake up early. The second situation is you want to change the rhythm. This is something that I do sometimes. Every now and then I'm trying to do this. So when you get a rhythm, a pattern going in your life and you get monotonous and life becomes boring at some point, so I do this shift. Usually I train or exercise in the evening once I come back from my institute, but every now and then, so every 6 months or 8 months, I would do this experiment for 2 or 3 or 4 months where I would shift my exercise from evening to morning. What it does is that it changes your rhythm completely. Now your day flips upside down and suddenly you have this extra energy about life, because we all tend to fall into our comfort zones and become monotonous. So if you want to change the rhythm of your life, go ahead, do this experiment. It's fun. Third situation is that you are like a big CEO, but I would guess the CEO might not be watching my video, but let's say you are a big CEO, or let's say you're a professor. I can imagine my professor waking up at 5 a.m. because for him, if I imagine his life, I mean, he has like meetings the moment he comes to the institute, by the time he leaves. Every single moment of somebody wants his attention in a meeting or some video meeting or whatever. So for him, let's say he wants to introduce a new habit in his life, or he wants to have a peaceful time where he wants to think about his life or his things. For this kind of person, man or woman, for them it makes sense. Of course, they wake up early and have this time in solitude for themselves where they think about themselves. But for others, I think we can sneak in some time in the day to reflect on our life. Another scenario that I can think of is like you have young kids, and the moment kids wake up, there's no way you can have the peaceful time where you just sit by yourself and dreaming and thinking your thoughts or thinking like a philosopher. So in that kind of situation, of course, you want to wake up before your kids and you want to have this time for yourself, whatever it could be, your hobby or exercise or anything it could be. These were some of the situations where it makes sense to wake up at 5 a.m. And if you're looking for solutions for a specific problem in your life, in this video I have explained my protocol that I use for figuring out solutions to different problems. Have a good one, guys. See you on the next one.